Hello friend, are you looking for the best RC radio transmitter? Please note this item's RC radio transmitter have upgrade. If you received a new RC radio transmitter, then you are in the right place. In this video, you are going to review top 5 best RC radio transmitter in 2022 on the market. All this RC radio transmitter open selected best one personal Achillean. The you reading reviews and odors. Okay, so let's started to this video. Number 5. AJRC Metal Automatic Double. This is a very good basic radio and receiver. The third channel has many very cool features if you choose to set it up. Lots of videos on YouTube on how to set up third channel. I use Futaba for my high power high performance cars. Of course Futaba radios cost more. The transmitter feels comfortable to hold and the receiver is very small. This radio does also have good range. The receiver has the universal plug system, so most servos will plug right in. If your servo does not work, then reverse the servo connector. Bought this as a replacement of Spectrum STX3, which Irma sent me to replace the ST. Number 4. Radio Link Channel Transmitte. This is one of the best RC radio systems on the market. Spectrum is quickly becoming the standard and is the brand recommended at our flying club. Make no mistake, this radio is hobby grade and used by competitive flyers. It's kind of weird that it gets described as a toy here on AliExpress. Spectrum is anything but a toy. Highest quality on the market, first time RC flyer, old control line free flight flyer. After watching bunch of flittedest YouTube vids on electric planes, I was hooked. Wanted a high-end transmitter and I got it in the DX8G2, had some early trouble binding receiver to transmitter. Number 3. Endura Digital Radio Transmitter. This thing do almost anything you want if you can code or understand it. So far, I've been able to make each switch functional, left for arm, right for buzzer, etc., with some help of YouTube, make some switches play .mp3 files while I fly, control volume with the knobs, make my own splash screens, and incorporate sounds from Portal for the various commands. Works perfect with opens and liftoff for practice. FPV drone game on Steam I highly recommend. One issue I did have was not having the correct microSD in the module. I reformatted, tried a 64 GB and it never read, and yes, I know it's overkill, but it's all I had at the time, so I purchased an 8 GB, the smallest my shop would sell, and then it was working fine. You can use a 2's battery perfect, but you have to get everything just right. Number 2. New Radio Master TX12 MKII. This radio is jam-packed with features and channels. Lots of receiver options are nice for various applications. Would really recommend getting an upgraded receiver. FSIA 6B is great for use in a race quad. The receiver it comes with, FSIA 6, does not support IBUS functionality, so you are forced to run the wires for each channel as well as power ground. For those new in the hobby, IBUS and SBUS allow the receiver to talk to the flight controller with only 3 wires. Signal, power and ground. Makes builds much cleaner and easier to wire. Got 2 FSA 8s receivers for my micro quads and an FSIA 6B for my race quad. Great for the beginner hobbyist. Had heard a lot about this radio and what a great. Number 1. WJRC7CH radio transmitter. This is my first Texas and I use it for mini. When you hold it in your hands, it feels very sturdy and you can tell it's made out of quality materials. The user interface is easy to navigate and to me, it's one of the best looking transmitters out there. In terms of features, it has everything you can think of and more. I've used it for a few months now of almost daily use paired with simulators, tiny whoops and 5-inch quads, and have no complaints yet. After running through a few batteries in a couple of weeks of daily use, I opted to get the Spectrum 2000 mAh rechargeable battery and the Spectrum International and Domestic Air